All right. This is another testimony. The reason why I make testimonies is because these people truly wants to live in a reality they've created. 2 seconds ago, I'm hearing this childlike individual say repercussions. This person is in a program that have been torturing women and children around the world. Mass shootings, horrible things have happened because of this program. She's in that. And she would say repercussion with not understanding that she's in a program that does these destructive things to people, including children. Now you understand the level of delusional these people are. It's a kind of delusional that is very, it's just unbelievable. She would dumb herself down to ignore the obviousness of things like that.
And videos in my closed eyes. Specific foods, people around me. This includes many different types of zaps to varying degrees to the genitals, butt, anus, and the entire pelvic area.
But you gotta understand this, they use these special people, and these people are not the most impressive people. Right, she say repercussion, but she wouldn't even think, what would be the repercussion of me being in a program that torture children and women and does these horrible things and manipulate people in this disturbing, like this is not her job. But I'm glad that she's in something like that, because there will be something coming to her, and she has no idea. No, now she knows what's gonna happen to me. Now, target individual, I'm making videos because I need to kind of enlighten people, and I want to enlighten people. Because as a target individual, you are putting this reality that they want to live, and they've created this false reality, right? For example, I'm in a program, right, and they try to VC. Even that is hard for me to express myself, because they want me to say things they want me to say versus reality. Reality is I'm in this program, torture women and children, and it's a government-led program, right? My perps are trying to create this facade, right? This facade that there are some kind of like avenging feminists, BS beyond nth degree, right? That's why they use childlike people who have no shame to be involved in this nonsensicalness. Obviously, this is the same program that tortured women and children, right? It doesn't, the facade of being women or being men, appearing this way, like all of that even has been said by women. So you understand these people are just fraudulent. Now, I'm making this specific testimony because there's something that will continuously happen, and they want me to forget about the obvious manipulations. Now, as a target individual, there's a lot of things, the obvious things that happen to you. For example, you know that you don't think anymore the same way. You know you are manipulated to think in certain ways. You know that these people force you to think in these disturbing ways, and these disturbing ways that of you thinking, it has been told by others. So you're validated by that, right? The pedophilia type of torture is this, right? As I'm saying that, they're trying to find ways to counter and try to say things that will, I guess, make me subscribe, but I don't know how is it possible, because
go for a walk as often as possible, which has become the only form of exercise I have been able to do since 2015. And even that, I'm not able to do as much as I'd like due to the exhaustion every day, as well as the sexual assaults that make it difficult to walk at times. For the past 3 years, it has been all about survival. Literally, just trying to keep myself alive to get me to the day when I can be free from this torture. Every day has been a miracle of survival. I also experience what is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation, so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams.
And so they somehow think that, oh no, we just kind of we analyzed you. We're not doing the pedophilia type of torture that almost all target individuals have experienced being in this program. But we are different. They are. Obviously, I'm super validating that extent that there's no way to escape that. I know what they do. They do these peripheral things. Matter of fact, I'm going to make another video about how they sometimes do this disturbing libido manipulation where they make you think of some sexual moments and then just flip into some, include children and then add, it's just disgusting. They do this. But they want you gaslight you to make you doubtful, right? With me, they have this method where they start making me think a certain way and that certain way is not true, and then like, oh, you see, you thought it was also these peripheral things that we've been doing to people. We don't do that to you, right? I'm giving an example right now, and it happens like I expected. Now it's like I expected because I know they're gonna try to use that to try to gaslight me, because certain things they're doing to me is not, I'm not aware of it yet, or I think there'll be a time where something will be, I'll be made aware of certain things. So what happens is they can create and force me to be more speculative than I would be, right? Which is not crazy thought because you know something is about to be happening to you, but you don't know exactly what. So for example, I have this, I'm my employer currently. I know they employ me as a target individual, and so they've been making clear to me that they are perps. They've been making very clear to me that these people are involved in my targeting, right? They're not responsible for me being in this program, but they are perps, and they've been very clear about it. And there's no doubt from day one. And so every time, let's just say, something is happening in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, so somehow they set me up for something, right? They are obviously, I've been told many times, you're fired. Like I've been told that months ago. And so I expect there will be a time where this thing's going to happen, right? I know there's bad things happening, and on that end, I don't know exactly what yet. Maybe one day I'll know, but I know they're doing something, and I've been told by my employer, I'll die, in our meetings. You're gonna die, you're gonna be in pain. Don't kill yourself. Like things like that. I've been told. They tell me, oh, your neck's gonna be hurting. Oh, your teeth, your jaw, you're not gonna be chewing. Like they made it very clear that they involve in this targeting in my destruction. There's so many ways. In my interview, one of the person I interviewed brought her little niece in the interview, so you understand she wanted to do the peripheral type of tormenting. Sometimes she, the guy shows like talks about my neck because they're doing things with my neck. So you are truly and fully aware that these people are involved. Now, with all this knowledge, you understand that to think in a way that would be of some kind of setup ways is not too crazy, but they're pushing it too a little bit because they know that that's a thought that is not too crazy to think of. For example, they make me think, she's doing this because they already set up for you to leave and fight. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, and then you think a little bit extra, they push it. And then realize, oh, okay, like usually they tend to do these things this way anyway. So, but it doesn't stop the fact that you still know that these people are really trying to get you. Well, no, they try to mess with you, and they try to destroy your life and your career. Like they keep saying things like, oh, you'll be very poor, you'll be destitute, right? As if So they're doing something. Maybe not what you were thinking this way, but they're doing something because they made it clear. So you let the speculative thoughts go there because there's something that they're doing that is negative towards you and your career. So, like you create, these thoughts can come in and you let those thoughts go in. And they try to push it because they won't be, oh, you see, you thought that usually we do this like this, but it's actually like this and that, but you thought it was like this. And then it's like, you see, the peripheral type of things is not what we do. And they really try to be like, oh my gosh, awkward. Oh, yes. Do you understand how illogical these people are? They do this peripheral type of torture. This is nonstop. It's consistently. It's going to happen all the time. Behind the scene, there's things also happening that you, at this point, just have to be speculative. Your employer is involved in it. The neighbors are involved in it. At this, and that's just what you expect because the things they say. They tell, oh, I lied. And they do, like, they say these things that to let you know that there's something going on. Right? And so you let those speculative thoughts go into it. And then when it's not exactly what is this specifically is happening, they're like, you see, you thought it was us. And they have no shame. And like, you see, then that means the pedophilia thing is not happening. Of course, that's the non-speculative things, what you experience. You experience these ways of thinking, these pedophilia ways or disturbing ways of thinking that disgusts you, that torment you non-stop. You have this non-stop manipulation of your libido in these pedophilia ways. And that's something that you know because you experience that. It's not something you speculate that is happening. You know that, why am I feeling this way now? Why am I seeing things this way? This is the for sure things. This is the 100%. Right? And you have your perps around try to make you accept this, like, nah, really, nah, we're going to watch you getting raped. As if that, like, you understand. So that even validates you even more. Because what they're trying to do is try to make you feel, they want you to identify with these things so much so that they tell you the horrible things that you're going to experience. So you be like, oh, if this is going to happen to me, then this is naturally happening. Illogical as it gets. As retarded, as spectrum-like as it gets. They live off what's going on in your brain in these irrational ways to try to get you to accept these things. So they want you to forget all of this, right? Things that you've been validated beyond nth degree. And you're at a point where validation of pedophilia type of tormenting is no longer like it's beyond validations. And they try to use tone of voices. It's like,
I just can't take this whole thing into account so much. I think it's so dramatic. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophiles. Like, it's disgusting.
And you hear them try to use this different tone of voices. Not true. Oh, now you're gonna hurt. You are. We're not doing this. It's you. And when you hear these things, like, you're supposed to ignore this.
In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
But they don't do pedophilia type of torment. They're not. They're not doing this. They're not doing pedophilia type of torture. You see, he thought this was happening, but they have completely, and they were doing noise campaign. They tell me, they're going to torture you. Yes. They want to torture me to accept this nastiness. You guys are filled with pedophiles in these agencies. This is not something speculative. This is this.
Eating healthier doesn't need a total pantry overhaul. It just needs 2 scoops of cassava.
You're put through polygraphs, you're put through a rigorous selection process. Why aren't these people weeded out? Why are so many pedophiles allowed to be given top-level security clearance? Remember, these aren't just people walking in off the street and saying, hey, can I get hired? Can I get a job? You're put through an extremely rigorous background check screening process. It's called an SSBI, single scope background investigation. There are people, they interview you, they interview your family, they interview your contacts, they go through your online footprint, they go through everything. So why is it that when they're going through these footprints, they're not checking, these digital footprints, they're not checking for so many pedophiles getting through their ranks? If it were up to me, you need to go into Congress, and Congress needs to launch a brand new church committee, number one, to talk about domestic surveillance operations, but number two, to ask the question, why are there so many pedophiles sitting behind those computer screens within the walls of Langley, within the Pentagon, and throughout the broader intelligence community?
I'm not coming out with these things. I'm not coming out with the term pedophilia type of torture. I'm being validated beyond end. Now, the type of sabotage and framing that's coming. Oh, this is since I've not seen yet what they're gonna do. This it's just my brain is gonna go wherever they want it, and then they're gonna try to use that to gaslight you. But one thing they can never make me doubtful of is the fact that they do the pedophilia type of torture. The way they manipulate me, the way they stimulate me in these disturbing ways, and try to get you to be accepting of it is ridiculous. I mean, I can even, when they try to do this facade of feminism and just because they're women, and somehow I'm going to be like, oh, no, you guys.
Right, so, excuse me. I hear some of the most horrid, really disgruntled and pissed off. Yeah, you should be shot in the face. Sound like an angry ass old person. Then a couple of days later, a female said the same thing. Well, get shot in the face. Stupid shit like that. But what I really noticed is, with the voices go, it's a bunch of females. And I'm like, bro, really? You're not a woman. What real woman would stalk another female?
These people are clowns. And they're like a female, like to try to counter reality. So, whatever's going to happen, I will never give them this fantasy they've created. These people have been doing these pedophilia things to disturb me. They've been playing my libido in so many nasty ways. They've been forcing me to think in these disgusting ways and manipulate my thoughts in this horrible, disgusting dreams. I'm manipulated, conditioned certain ways, and they try to use this condescending, like annoying, agitating ways of speaking, just try to make me like, oh, you are nothing. These people who torture women and children and do this pedophilia type of torture and filled with pedophiles in those agencies. It's like we're analyzing. We're not doing the pedophilia. That day in and day out tell me, oh, you're going to be broke, you're going to be poor, you're going to be, they're going to fire you, and then when this thought of like, oh, this, it's like, oh, you see, it's like, we're going to frame you, are you going to serve because we're going to frame you, we're going to implant things, it's our porn, so we're going to put child porn in your computer. So, of course, your mind is going to be on high alert. Now, the way they push to think certain ways is just, it's them. They're going to push it a little bit further. But it is normal for your brain. It's normal for you to be in a state of alertness because they continuously tell you about the horrible things that's going to happen to you. Or you're going to be poor. Or they're going to fire you. Or you're fired. And they try to get you to it. And so, of course, your mind. But now I know that these people are just trying to get also gaslighting. Yes, all this can happen. But they're also trying to do their best to get you to be doubtful for the things that you don't have. There's no speculations. There's no speculation they do the pedophilia type of torture. This is what they do to me. I know who I am. I can tell you that I will not think this way naturally. Right? They've been doing this consistently since 2019, August 19. It hasn't changed. It's every day, every moment, it's going to be like that. They force my libido in these disturbing ways to be stimulated in these horrible ways. This is something I don't have doubts about. That's every day since August 19, 2019. I cannot think normally. My thoughts haven't been the same. This is what I've been since August 19, 2019. Now, in regard of what's happening around me, what are they prepping to do to me? In regard how they're going to frame me or all of that then, or what, those things are just those are not the things that I'm 100% sure of. So having those thoughts, forced or not, it's okay. Because those are not things that I know of. And I know that for sure that my employer is involved in this program. They've been telling me that they're going to fire me. They tell me I'm going to be losing my feet or something. Like they say they're involved in this. They say the repetitions. So I know they're involved. I don't know what else they're going to action. What other action is being taken on their side, what they're doing, but you know that they're doing something. And they've been expressive about it. And then you know that they want you to accept this disturbing pedophilia things. So you understand, your whole ecosystem is trying to get you to accept these things that you know is not you. It's all mind games, and they want you to accept this and add doubt in these things that are just no doubt about it, right? It's a way to just try to get you to doubt yourself. There's no doubt in regard of that. Let me just repeat that. These people have been doing this pedophilia type of torture. They are nasty, low-life trash. They've been forcing me to think in these disturbing ways, forced me to experience these disturbing things, and there's zero doubt about that. This is the most... This is basically like the thing that brings me back to reality in regard of this is how manipulative these people are. If there's a picture of a child in it, they're going to do foul things to me. They're going to force me to be stimulated. They're going to have me in this disgusting. Now, when it comes to what speculative things my employer is prepping to do, or how is going to do it, this is a thought that makes sense to have because you know that your employer is involved in this. So if they push it, or if it's, to go, it's something I'll be like, you know what, that could be actually true, yes. Yeah, maybe they, yes, they've been telling me die. They've been like, you're gonna be. So this is a thought that, yeah, I should be on high alert a little bit about them because I know they're involved in this. But true or not, that's not really like, they're involved, but you what exactly doing day to day to involve themselves in you don't know that part. But they make sure to be clear that their purpose. So to think this way is that it makes sense. And so that's why I'm not, like that is just, but they're going to try to be like, oh, you see, you thought that this, like that, but it wasn't. It's like, that is a thought that should be accepted, should be understood, because your employer is involved in this thing. It's a thought that you should somewhat be alert that your employer is doing things to go against you. So your mind is already like, oh, she's trying to do this because, then she's telling me this and that. You understand that. Now, sometimes it's them pushing it, but at the same time, would I not be a little bit alert if she says something? Because I know she's been telling me to die and you're going to hang yourself. Or not even that specific, but you're going to be in pain. It's going to be it's going to be torture and something's going to be horrible. And she keeps saying, it's going to be horrible, horrible. And so she's talking to what you're going to go through. So you understand that. Now, that being true or not, the extent of what they're doing, that is just like you'll know when time comes, but that's not something I care about because I know what's happening to me on a day-to-day for sure. For sure, every moment my brain is manipulated in this disturbing pedophilia ways. These people want you to accept these things. They do noise campaign of all level, trash noise, do slamming the doors and going. Somebody just walks away. It's like she's 13. I was like, I don't know what the F she means. Are they saying that there's a 13-year-old here who's going to say something about me doing something to her and frame me in this way? I have no idea. This is speculative. I don't know if it's true. But for me to think this way, okay. Now I'm high alert. So you got to be understanding this, the obvious things they do, right? They manipulate you. They even tell you, wait for it. So you're already okay, wait, something's going to happen, right? So you already, but the things that's happening today, right now, 24/7, is these manipulations, these stimulations, these disturbing things they do to me that you have no doubt about. And they want you to be doubtful because you thought this something like this happened that you don't know for sure, but did it happen? And then it's like, oh, you see? She thought, no, I'm telling you what I know exactly is happening for sure. With zero doubt. You do the pedophilia type of torture. You force me to experience these disgusting things. So I have no doubt of the pedophilia type of tormenting happening to me. It's something that these people have done for years to others. I'm not the first and I won't be the last. This is the things that have been validated to me to beyond nth degrees. And I'm so thankful to all the testimonies that validate something I already knew because, of course, I know myself. So why would I all of a sudden think this way? Why all of a sudden unless somebody's forcing me to, and then finding out they do this pedophilia type of torment, they force you to think in these disgusting ways, and this is why you're experiencing what you're experiencing now every day. And they're doing more than just what's going on in my mind. My body is also something for sure is happening to my body, right? This is no doubt. Like, I don't have no doubt that my elbows, my shoulders, and my knees are being some bad's happening to it. Even my stomachs, and my organs, and something just like that. There's no doubt about that. So stay strong, target individuals, because they're gonna try to make you doubtful about everything, when you should be sure about the things they do to you. For example, I'm sure that they manipulate my thoughts in these pedophilia ways. I'm sure they're doing horrible things to my body, to my organs. I'm sure of that. I see it. I feel it. I experience it. Now, whatever's around you, are they framing you? That they keep saying that, so I think there'll be some frame of some sort. I'm drying up. Is it because they're radiating me? Maybe that's radiation. Maybe, but something's happening. Like, is my employer doing something behind the scene to basically ruin my career? Maybe. They've been saying things about, like, you're gonna be very poor. You know, so those are more speculative, but what you experience, your body breaking down, your mind not thinking clearly, and thinking these disturbing ways, which is them manipulating, because you've been validated. But others saying they do these things to me too. I can't think this way. I can't think normally. Now I'm getting this pedophilia type of torment. And this it's been happening every day. I don't think normally. I'm forced to think this disturbing. They try to change who I am as a person with this pedophilia type. I have neighbors doing things. I don't know if they're doing it with weapons. I don't know how they're doing it. But it's happening. This is validation that they can't erase. The rest, like they say, I'll wait and see what happens. But I know who I am, and I know this nastiness is what they do. And they've been doing this since August 19, 2019. So to all my target individuals, stay strong.